Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
Good morning. Welcome back to History Class. And as we wrap up our history class for this week, we're going to wrap up what we had to say about the Roman Empire. It's been a long road getting from there to here. We talked about where it began and what happened to it and how it fell. But would it surprise you to know that the Roman Empire is still here today? I mean, the city of Rome is still there, but there still is a Roman Empire. Even though it was destroyed, it never totally went away. It just changed. You see, as Rome weakened, and as the barbarians came and attacked it, there was a group that said, this is a problem. We can no longer control the people with the armies. We need to find some other way to control them. How about we say that the people need to obey us, because if they don't, they can't get into heaven. Remember we said that Christianity was made the only religion of the Roman Empire? But when it happened, what happened was that they took the ideas of the Bible and some of the old ideas of the Roman Empire from their gods and sort of mixed them all up. And what they came up with was sort of like Christianity, but wasn't really. Well, this organization did the same thing. They took the ideas from the Bible, the ones that are supposed to be there to help everybody, and mixed them up with their own ideas and the ideas from the other religions. And they came up with a new religion. It looks like Christianity, but it's not really. And they say, if you want to go to heaven, you have to be part of this one true church. This one universal church. That means everybody in the world needs to be part of it. And the word they use for that is Catholic. Católico. This was the Roman Church. The Roman Church saw that the Roman Empire was failing, and so took some ideas from the Bible and some ideas from other religions and mixed them all up to come up with the Roman Catholic Church. And the guy they put in charge, instead of being an emperor, they put in charge the head priest of the Roman Catholic Church. They called him the Father, or the Pope, or El Popa. And they said, you need to listen to the Pope, because the Pope knows everything. The Pope talks directly to God. God tells the Pope what to do, and the Pope tells us what to do. You need to listen to the Pope if you want to go to heaven. Because if you want to go to heaven, you have to do what we tell you to do. And you know what? People listened. People listened. They said, no, we don't want to go to hell. What do we have to do? And the Catholic Church said, well, there are some things you need to do. First thing you need to do is you need to give us as much money as we ask for. Then we'll tell you how to get to heaven. And so the people would send them all their money. And they would say, all right, here's what you need to do. You need to say so many prayers, and you need to do good works to get to heaven. Can you get to heaven by doing good works or by praying? No, you get to heaven by asking Jesus to take your sins away. But the people didn't know that because they believed whatever the Catholic Church told them to do. Then the Catholic Church did one better. Now, if you come to our church, we do something called the Lord's Supper. It's a reminder of what happened to Jesus. The night before Jesus died, he took some bread, he took some juice, and said, this bread which is broken is a picture of my body which will be broken on the cross. And this grape juice is a picture of my blood, which will be spilled on the cross. We use the Lord's Supper, the Santa Cena, to remind us of what Jesus did on the cross. But the Catholic Church took the Santa Cena and they changed it. They said, you have to take our Santa Cena if you want to go into heaven. And if you don't obey us, we won't let you take it. And you won't be able to get into heaven. And the people said, oh no, we'll do whatever you want us to do. And it worked. The Roman Catholic Church, the Roman Empire never fell. It just got changed into the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church, over the next 1,000 years, slowly got their power back. Until the Catholic Church basically took over the world. For 1,000 years, the Catholic Church was in power. The Catholic Church was strong. And nobody was willing to fight them. Because the people didn't know what the Bible really said. The Catholic Church made it illegal for people to read the Bible. They said, no, you can't read the Bible. You won't understand what's inside it. You need us to tell you what it really means. And it did work. For 1,000 years, the Roman Catholic Church was in charge of the world, pretty much. And everybody had to listen to what they said, or they wouldn't get into heaven. It was a very bad time for the world. Do you know what finally changed? What changed is that people started reading their Bibles again. Some very brave men and women got together and printed out Bibles and gave them out to people. And people started to read the Bible and they said, wait a minute, the Catholic Church is wrong. You don't get to heaven by doing good works. You don't get to heaven by giving money to the church. You don't get to heaven by taking the Santa Cena. You get to heaven by asking Jesus to take your sins away. And after that, the Catholic Church became weaker, so people brought away from it. But it still exists today. The Catholic Church is still around today. The Pope is still in charge of the Catholic Church. They're still spreading their lies about how to get to heaven and how you need to listen to them. And it's all throughout a lot of Latin America, Mexico and Guatemala, even here in Honduras. And all through South America and parts of Europe and Asia, they're still around. They're still spreading these lies about how you have to listen to them in order to get to heaven. So the Roman Empire, it never went away altogether. It's still here. They just call themselves the Roman Catholic Church now. That's the thing you need to look out for. Okay. That's our history lesson for this week. And finally, we come to the end of our lessons on the Roman Empire. Before we end, let's look at our questions for today. Question number 1, what did the Roman Empire become? It became the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. Question number 2, who led it? Who leads the Catholic Church? And that is the Pope. The Pope leads the Catholic Church. And question number 3, how did it control people? And how it still controls people today? They say it's by saying, if you don't obey us, you can't go to heaven. Okay? All right. Millions of people today still listen to the Catholic Church. And it's our job as Christians to go out and tell them, no, the Catholic Church is wrong. You need to listen to the Bible and only to the Bible to find out how to get to heaven. Okay? All right, well, that's it. We're done with the Catholic Church. We're done with the Catholic Church. We're done with Rome for a long time. We will talk a little bit more about the Eastern Roman Empire toward the end of the year, I think. But we're done with Rome. Starting tomorrow, we're going to move into, next week, we're going to move into Mexico and see what's going on there. All right? All right, so that's all we have for today. Goodbye. Have a good weekend, and I will see you Monday. Take care.